Sorry, y'all, technical difficulties, but we live now as the Chicago Bulls have officially brought in Darius Acuff for a in-person workout for the Chicago Bulls. Does this mean that there is a possibility that Acuff could pass up either Cam Boozer or Caleb Wilson? We're going to talk about it all and more right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get to this content for today, y'all. So the Bulls have officially now brought in Darius Acuff for a in-person workout, and the question becomes about now is that could Darius Acuff actually pass up Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson for the number 4 overall pick? Acuff has averaged 23.5 points per game, 6.4 assists, 3.1 rebounds. He shot 48% from the field and 44% from three. He became the first SEC player since Pete Maravich to lead the league in scoring and assists. And, you know, this is a guy that I think when you look at it, it depends on how they really view Darius Acuff. Now, personally, the thing that I've heard in regards, and Casey Johnson has said this, that the Bulls view this as a 4-player draft, meaning that they are not looking at any of the players outside of the ones that are projected to go in the top 4. This is most likely the Bulls just doing their due diligence and bringing in and giving Darius Acuff a chance to wow them and to show what he can bring and maybe work himself. Hold on. Is that my nap alarm? That is my nap. That's my old man nap alarm. I feel like that went off the last time I was live too. You know, in regards to that one, I look at this and I personally say, to me, this, if you draft Acuff, you aren't drafting for fit. You're not drafting for any of that. You are drafting him because you are ready to completely change and remold what the Chicago Bulls are. Now, like I said, the most likely scenario here, the Bulls are doing just their due diligence in regards to a player like Acuff because they don't want to not work him out and he ends up turning out great or something like that. But this is a player that is 6'3", 190 pounds. His defensive impact is next to 0. The size is a little bit of a concern there. When you look at the Chicago Bulls allowing 121.5 points per game, they rank 28 defensively. You have a chance to add players in Caleb Wilson, and Cam Boozer, who can absolutely help up your defensive ceiling overall. And I think that if you were to draft a player like Acuff, you need your Joakim Noah to go with him. Like, I think that's just like when you look at Derrick Rose, not to say that Derrick Rose actually was really good defensively his first 3 years in the league, 3-4 years in the league. But if you are looking at bringing in a player like Acuff, it makes it even more important that you have to find your long-term big to go along with him, in my personal opinion. You need your long-term big to go there, right? But I do think that there is a chance that drafting Acuff could end up leaving you with the harder long-term team-building path if that's the route that you want to go. Darius Acuff would be a sexy pick, right? Because he's the player that when you look at his game, you see, boom, offensively, he's taking players off the dribble. He's finishing around the rim. He can step back and take a three. He can do this. He can do that. Offensively, he brings every tool you can possibly want offensively for a team. But the reason, the other parts of that could leave you in a little bit of a question, and that's what the Bulls would have to decide on if they decide to do that. I don't expect it to happen. Michael Haize in the building. Shout out to me and Michael, who had a little bit of a difference of opinion, and now we're on the same page. Shout out to Michael. See, Michael is a good example of when you actually just talk as men, you can get on the same page. Shout out to Michael here. All love. So yes, Michael, the Bulls have brought in Acuff for a workout. And so I wanted to talk about it because it is so much of an important part of the Chicago Bulls conversation. And so many Bulls fans are wondering if the Bulls would seriously go Acuff there. So that's why I wanted to go in regards to that one. Let's see. We got Robert in the building says, I guess I would be be bad if something happened to any of the projected first four, and the Bulls front office is like, we didn't even look at the guys, we were slotted lower. And that's what I really think it is. That's what I really think it is. Isn't he the worst defender in college history for draft price? He's absolutely terrible. Terrible. Like he guards like you would expect Shea to guard out there with no legs. Shea says, Haize, are we going to probably disagree? But if we even try to gamble with this fourth pick and not take a guy like Wilson or Boozer, I'm going to have a problem. Oh no, listen, I'm in the camp with you. You take Caleb Wilson, you take Cam Boozer, whichever one of those guys fall. I'm in that same camp with you. I'm just talking because, you know, I try to talk about things from all angles. I'm a solo host, so it's no other perspective on here. So I got to talk about perspectives other than my own to keep us even here. Let's go Chicago Bulls. Shout out to Spacegate. Michael says, bro, I'll just be trolling you. No, we cool. Absolutely. Waste of time. Bulls need a 2-guard. Bulls need talent. See, this is the thing. And no problem, no shots at you, Deuce. But I'll say this: if you go into the situation saying the Bulls need to stop it, the Bulls need talent, and that's what this thing is overall about. They need who's going to turn into a star. That's what they need more than a position. That's what they need more than size. They need who they feel is going to turn into a star. Now, I'm not necessarily. Let me not say. It's not that I don't think Darius Acuff could turn into a star. I do think that, but I think that we've seen it. We've already been there. We've had one-way offensive guards on this team far too often, and we know how difficult it is to build with those guys. Hell, we had a two-way player in Jimmy Butler, and we had idiots that didn't know how to build around him. So I think that's what you have to look at. But he has the physical size, so I think he can at least be okay at defense. So I really want him to trade up for 15 for him. It'll take way too much. You got to keep in mind, Keaton Wagler's probably going 6th or 7th. It'll take way too much to trade up for 15 for that. Not to say that I do think the Bulls could trade back into maybe 12, 13, something like that, but I don't think they're going to trade all the way up into the single digits. I don't think that that's going to be there. See, we got Daniel in the building. He's an Acuff guy. He says, yes, please, Darius Acuff. There are a lot of people that agree. There are a lot of people that agree with you, bro. A lot of people that do. What is it like here is that Graham is doing due diligence for all. Exactly. And that's exactly what I like, too, is that Bryson Graham is not going to get caught up with his pants down. That's basically what this is. He is not going to go into a situation, and he even said it. He was like, hey, yeah, this is a draft where it looks like the top 4. He said it the day of the lottery, the day that we won the 4th overall pick. He was like, you don't want to just assume it's a 4-player race, and he's living up to his words. The thing that I like about Bryson Graham so much here is that everything that he said with his words, he's backed up with action. And so when you look at them bringing in Wagler, bringing in Darius Acuff now, bringing in Nate Ament, what Bryson Graham is doing here is that he is making sure that he has all the information possible, that he's looking at everybody that could be there with them at the 4th overall pick, and he's going to make an informed decision. I look back at this, and this was the opposite way around, right? The Boston Celtics had the number 1 overall pick, and technically they drafted Markelle Fultz, but they traded him for Jason Tatum. And afterwards, what did they say? We had Jason Tatum number 1 on our board anyway, but they were able to trade back, get some more assets for it and stuff like that. So, if you go into a draft just assuming anything, you could get caught, right? For example, the Chicago Bulls. Did they look at Denny Advia? Did they look at Tyrese Halliburton? Or did they lock in on Patrick Williams way too early in that process, right? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. I don't know. I wasn't there. AK is an idiot, so I have no idea. But you don't want to get caught up with tunnel vision, and then it ends up backing you into a corner later. And I think that's what Bryson Graham is doing here right now. He's making sure he doesn't get backed into that corner. By the way, y'all, anybody's here in the live stream, we're nearing 600 members of our Discord. Vern, I've been seeing other people try to recruit you to the Discord. Vern, the Discord link is in the description. Go to that Discord link, hit it there. But let's keep it pushing. Acuff is cool, but no, Boozer or Wilson is the way to go unless Peterson. Oh, listen, I said this before. If 3 GMs ahead of the Chicago Bulls all look at it and say, I'm ready to lose my job, hey, fuck it. Ball out. Because I guarantee you people are going to regret not taking Darren Peterson. Darren Peterson falls to number 4. I'm going to do on live on, y'all know I'm half Irish. I'm going to do an Irish jig live on camera. I swear for God. If somehow Darren Peterson falls to number 4 to the Chicago Bulls, I will live on air do an Irish jig and drink some Jameson while I'm doing it. So there you guys go. Fair, But by that I mean give up a good amount to do so. Yeah, see, I don't think that Bryson Graham is going to give up a lot of assets right now with where the Bulls are. Now I could be wrong on that. But I just don't see that. I don't foresee that happening. I'll be extremely happy if the Bulls somehow trade up to get a Damara. Yeah, a lot of people would agree with you on that too. Do you think Acuff could be there at 15, or could the Bulls move up to 50? There's no chance he's going to be there at 15. Darius Acuff is probably going to be number 5. Maybe his late number 6 if somebody convinces themselves to take like a Keaton Wagler over him, but there's zero chance Darius Acuff is there at number 15. None. Listen, if that happens, if somehow Darius Acuff falls to number 15 and the Bulls get him and Caleb Wilson or Cam Boozer, it's probably the best draft in Bulls history. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's probably the best draft in Bulls history. Sup, Haize? I understand the pessimism around Wes Unseld being the finalist, but I like this to the Bears when we did the long search, but knew Ben was it all along. I like Quinn is the guy. I think Quinn is the guy. Hey, listen, we spent so much time. So let's just go over what we've talked about this offseason, right? We spent like 2 weeks thinking Matt Lloyd was the front runner. He didn't get the job, right? Just the reality of it. We heard for a week, Bulls fans, I think that the Bulls are waiting on the coaching search for Sean Sweeney. I think Sean Sweeney is going to be the guy. Why else would the Bulls wait? Wasn't the guy, right? So I've learned now at this point, I'm just going into things with just the mindset of get it right. If you get it right, that's it. That is what it is. So I don't know what's going to be what. Just get it right. Graham, he played basketball. We know this, right? So he's a different type of GM. Well, most GM, AK played professional basketball. John Paxson played professional basketball. If you look around the league, there are a lot of people in the front office that played professional basketball. Doesn't mean they were stars. I don't think that makes him some huge type of different GM. He didn't even make the NBA. He tore his ACL in college. So I don't know if that somehow makes you that drastically of a different GM. Yeah, we're not getting Acuff unless we pick him at 4. He drops at 15, or we move up to 1 through 3 spots to get him if he's exactly. I agree with you there. Haize, I have cerebral palsy. I'm not paralyzed. I have both my legs. I don't use a wheelchair, but I do use a walk. Bro, I know. I'm just fucking with you. Like, I know you not talking after on Locked On Bulls yesterday. You just said you would trade Isaac Okoro for 2 working pair of legs. Do you remember saying that? So don't get mad at me now when I make the joke. When you open up the door, I just walked through it. We only want starving hoopers here, in my opinion, straight dogs. Okay, you can have a team full of dogs that aren't skilled and don't win shit. So, like, you need more than just a dog mentality. Now, I want dogs on the team, but that ain't as simple as, oh, you got dogs, now you win a bunch of basketball games. It's also no promise Caleb Wilson goes to us. Best to work out all. Yeah, there's no, but I mean, it's either Cam or Caleb are likely to fall. If it's not, it's probably going to be Darren Peterson. So there you go. You got to be prepared. And for those that are going to ask, if you haven't already, I haven't seen all the comments, so maybe somebody did. But if those are asking, well, when you bringing in Cam Boozer, when you bringing in Caleb Wilson, when you bringing, those guys will probably be the last guys they bring in, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a week before the draft, 5 days before the draft, that's when you start hearing that Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, those guys came in for a workout. So don't be surprised if you don't hear those guys till late. Haize, did you play professional basketball? Fuck no, I played football, bro. I'm a running back. I'm 5'10". You think I'm playing basketball? I mean, I played basketball, but professionally, I'm 5'10", bro. Ain't nobody dunking on me because I'll shoot you. At this point, I need to stop stressing until Graham makes actions. Just got to get it right. Exactly. And that's where it comes down to. I think it's Caleb for sure. Dude damn near begging for us to draft. Yeah, but Michael Porter Jr. did too. Michael Porter Jr. was showing up to workouts in Bulls jerseys. He gave the Bulls his medicals first. Michael Porter Jr. was even, if you think Caleb Wilson is begging for the Bulls to draft him, Michael Porter Jr. basically came to the Chicago Bulls and was like, draft me. I'm here. I'm already in the city. I'm good. I got my jersey already. Bears going to Indiana and now Wes as our coach. What a bad combo. That is funny. Y'all got to stop. Give me 2 players you hope are there at 15. Either Brayden Burries, Cameron Carr, or Jayden Quantins. Those are the 3. Those are my 3 that I hope are there at number 15. So there we go. But all right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. I just wanted to bring this news because I know a lot of Bulls fans are very excited about the prospect of Darius Acuff being a Chicago Bull. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. So at the end of the day, it's probably not going to happen, but we'll see what if Bryson Graham has something completely and utterly in store. If he wants to shock the world, Darius Acuff would definitely do that for a lot of people, man. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in, man. You guys are amazing for everything that you do. You guys are nothing less than the best. I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys, and I hope that I do a good job at telling you guys that all the time. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We have a goal of getting to 50,000 subscribers by the start of the 2026-27 season. It's a very lofty goal, but I like to set my goals high. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, and I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning, where I'm going to go into more detail on these three players: Caleb Wilson, Cam Boozer, Darius Acuff. I'm going to talk about on tomorrow's mailbag episode what it would mean for the Bulls team building for each one of those three guys and what it would mean for the Chicago Bulls. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.